So, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Je m'appelle Eliise.
Je m'appelle Kerttu. And because about here ends our French vocabulary, we will proceed in English. We are both coming from Estonia and we study in University of Tartu. And today we are going to tell you something about fire. But because, you know, fire can be dangerous, do not try these experiments at home. Okay? So, about 1 million years ago, the ancestors of modern humans discovered that if they take two rocks and cause friction between them, they can produce a spark. And that spark can light a fire. But causing fire. Let's make an experiment. Put your left hand like this.
Everyone, please.
And your right hand next to it. And now let's do this really, really fast. So
Faster. Really, really fast. Good.
So you can feel that your hands are getting warm. The same thing happens with rocks, but because of the rock's material, their temperature rises really, really high level and the spark can be produced.
But nowadays there is a much easier way to produce fire. Maybe you know it. Maybe some of you saw the Icelandic show. They showed it. So what did they use to make fire? Really easy. Match. Correct. Here I have some Estonian matches. These are different. And they work the same way like did the rocks. At first you need friction that causes heat, and the heat lights up the chemicals in the match's head. Do you believe me? Do you believe me? No? Okay, of course we have to test it. So, friction, heat, chemicals. So it works. Yes, this was the first experiment. And one more fun thing about matches is that maybe you have noticed that the matches' heads are red. Has anybody seen it? So this is not because the matches' chemicals are red. This is because people have added red dye in it to make it look more dramatic and to say that it could be dangerous. So not these chemicals are not red.
So now we have talked about how to make fire, but what we could use fire for? Well, through the ages, people have used fire for keeping themselves warm or heating food. But I know that some people use fire for traveling. Well, these people are wizards. Raise your hand if you've seen Harry Potter. Woo. So, in the second movie of Harry Potter, there was one Harry Potter, one fireplace, and some flue powder. So, when Harry stepped into the fireplace and dropped the flue powder, suddenly the great green big fire bursted out and Harry disappeared. And today we are going to try to do the same thing here. So first we need some kind of fuel. For that we use burning alcohol. And secondly we have to light the fire up. For that we use something we have already talked about. The match.
Yes. So everybody ready? Let's light it up.
Well, that's a pretty good fire already, but something is still missing. Since we are muggles, we don't actually have the real flue powder. But what we do have is chemical called copper chloride. And I don't know, let's see if it can make a difference. Well, that's a pretty good Harry Potter fire already. But as I told you, we are not wizards, so we don't use it actually for traveling. But where we do use it is every year in New Year's Eve when the whole sky lights up with fireworks. So the blue and the green ones are also made with copper compounds, just like this fire was made green with copper compound.
But besides that, we can't use it for traveling. We don't really want to stand too near it. It gets really hot, and not to mention standing inside of it. But I think it is somehow possible to hold fire on my hands for some time.
Are you sure it doesn't hurt?
What do you think? Should I try it?
Yes.
No? But I want to try it because I believe I can protect myself with science. I do really believe that. So, to show you that I can do it, here I have water with soap in it. Now I'm going to make my hands wet with the water. And this time we're not going to use burning liquid, we're going to use burning gas. So I'm going to add the burning gas into the water. Now we have bubbles and gas inside them. And now we're going to light them up on my hands. Of course we need protection. So, Kerttu, can you please help me?
Are you sure?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. As you can see, I'm all fine. Really, I am. And this is because of water. Did you see I wet my hands with water before? This helps because water has large heat capacity. It means that when the fire was on my hands, the heat just warmed up the water. And my hands are fine. So science really did protect me.
So you just saw how Elise's hands were protected with water. But water is also the most common way for fire extinguishing. But sometimes it might not be such a good idea. And to show you that, we need a volunteer. Here. Come here. So let's applause. Woo! Hi, what's your name? Marianne. Okay. So.
Now you know what we can think at this moment.
Okay, so you all know how firemen have these big uniforms. We are going to give you the same. Here's a lab coat for you. Put it on. Here you go. Then you need gloves as well. Okay, really good. Okay, I will help you. Okay. And the helmet.
Your job is just to cheer her up. So you have to try, yes. So let's try it. Yeah. Go.
Okay, stand here.
Good. Just wait now.
Okay, so something is still missing, right? This is the fire extinguisher. It works like that. Look here, you just have to sprinkle it like this. And your job is to take the fire extinguisher and try to sprinkle the water into this casket as fast as you can. Try to do it. Okay, just
Press it. Very well done.
okay, really good job. Woo! And yes, balloon for you also. You were really good fireman.
Applause one more time. Thank you.
So you saw that instead of putting fire out, the water actually started the fire. Sometimes fire makes things worse.
So now is the time for our last experiment. This is the most fun of them.
To show you that, you just have to know what substances you're dealing with when you try to extinguish fire with water.
So
it's
let's-
still possible.
Yes, so let's imagine that the thing we want to extinguish is a big forest on fire. Can you imagine that? Yes, very good. To make it easier for you, we're going to use again the match. Imagine this is the fire. So for that we're going to need a lot of water. And
This is our fire extinguisher.
yes.
Yes.
So we're going to pour in liquid nitrogen. Okay?
Yes.
So Kerttu will hold the So this is very cold, 196 degrees.
Minus, of course, not
Minus.
Plus,
Yes, of course,
no.
cold. Now.
Okay, so now we have one part of fire extinguisher, but we still need the other. And also we need the big fire on forest, right?
So Kerttu will hold the big fire.
This is the big fire.
This is the big fire. And I'm going to extinguish it. So you just have to count it down. Oh. Technical problems?
Yeah, it's working.
No. So.
No. It's still on fire.
So. Are you ready? Are you ready? I didn't hear you. Yes, very good. Count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. So thank you and see you again.